Hi Cubs, here's our second video from Ms. Woods' art teacher showing us about optical illusions using our hands. Let's learn how to do this both artistic and science related task. See you soon. We miss you. Bye Cougar Cubs.
Hey boys and girls, this is Miss Woods, one of the art teachers from Cordova Elementary. I work alongside Miss Carter. You may have been in my classroom this year, or you may have been in Mrs. Carter's classroom this year, but whichever art teacher you had, we both hope the same thing for you. We hope that you're well, we hope that your family is well, we hope that you're finding lots of fun things to do with them, and we hope that you're being very, very safe. So with that being said, I'd like to bring an art lesson to you today. If any point in this video you need to pause it, feel free to do so. This art lesson is all about a type of art known as op art. That's just the short name for it. The full name is optical illusion art. So what is optical illusion art? Optical illusion art is a type of artwork that tricks your eye. It tricks your eye into seeing something that's not really there. So there are artists that may use lines or shapes or colors or patterns to make an artwork that might look like it's moving. Maybe it looks like it's sticking out at you, or maybe it looks like it's transforming or changing. But none of those things are really happening in the picture. That's just the way the artist has put those images together to make it seem. So op art is really cool. I'm about to show you a few examples of it. Maybe some of them you've seen before, maybe some of them are new to you. But I want you to zero in on this for a moment, and then we'll talk about the things that we'll need in order to create our artwork, and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so let's put our eyes on these examples of op art. Take a look at this first one. What do you see? A vase, or do you see two faces? On this one, do you see a giant hole in the middle of the paper that's sinking down? I know it looks that way, but it's not. It's just the way the artist drew the picture on the paper. He added lines and some shading to make it look as if there's a big deep hole in the middle of that paper. How about on this one? Do you see a big black cat, or do you see a little white mouse? Look at this one. Look closely and look at the stairs. Where on earth could any of those stairs possibly be going? This is op art that looks like it's moving. The lines look like they're shifting back and forth. Even though it looks that way, that's not happening at all. I want you to take your eyes and focus on one spot on this picture. When you focus on it, it stops moving. When you move your eyes and focus at a different place, it stops moving again. So even though it seems like it, none of those lines are actually moving. It's just the way that our eyes are being tricked. This artwork here is known as a tessellation. It looks as if something is slowly transforming. In this one, the black geese are slowly transforming into white fish. And this last piece of op art looks like it's really moving, like really wiggling. But once again, I promise you it's not. If you pick any spot on this picture and stare at it, it's going to stop moving. None of those lines are moving in real life. It's just an optical illusion. It's just tricking your eye. So now that we've got an idea of what we're going to do, let's get started. What we're going to be creating is a piece of op art in which we're going to trace our hand, and we're going to add lines in a certain way to trick our eye into thinking that this hand is rising off of the page. All right, so here we go. I'm going to show you how to draw this optical illusion of the hand. For this, you're only going to need a pencil and a piece of paper. Now if you want to get fancier later, you can add color to it. So you can use crayons or markers or colored pencils. But to begin, we really only need a white sheet of paper and a pencil. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to trace our hand. I'm going to lay my hand on the paper. Now, right now you'll notice that my wrist is bent. I would really rather have my arm be straight, so I'm going to tilt my paper a little bit just so that my hand and my wrist will be straight. It's very important that your fingers are open. They don't have to be as wide as you can make them, but you don't want your fingers to be closed. You don't even want them to be like this. You want all of your fingers to be separated. I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to hold it straight up and down as I trace my hand. It's important that your pencil is straight up and down. If you lean your pencil in like this, what tends to happen is the pencil gets underneath your fingers, and then when you take your hand away, you're going to find that you have really skinny fingers. So we don't want that. Leave your fingers open. Don't let your fingers move. Don't let that pencil push your fingers out of the way. Hold the pencil up straight. Take your time. Trace your hand and all the way down until your arm goes off of the paper. There we have the shape of our hand. Now, here's what we're getting ready to do. We're about to start adding the lines in a pattern so that it creates the illusion that the hand is rising off of the paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here at the bottom. There's two things in this picture. There's my hand, and then there's the table that my hand is sitting on, or the background. The lines in the background or on the table, they're going to be straight. However, the lines in the hand are going to curve up. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to start down here. I'm going to start making a straight line. When I get to my wrist, I'm going to make that line jump up until it gets to the other side of the wrist. And then it's going to keep on going straight. Now notice I tried to get the straight lines to be even. See how this ends here? And it begins right here. They're almost on the same level. That's pretty important. Let's do another one. I'm going to leave a gap. I'm going to draw that line. When I get to the wrist, make it jump over until it gets to the other side of the wrist. And then it's going to go straight across. Okay, do this one more time. Straight line. When it gets to the wrist, make a nice curve there. Gets to the other side. Go straight. All right, I'm going to keep going. Now, I'm about to get to the part that's a little tricky. When you get to the knuckles, you're going to have to do some extra jumping. Because when I touch the finger, I need to make a curve right there. Now, all of these fingers are kind of grouped together, so I can probably make just one big jump there. But look at this space here. That's the table underneath. Remember, the line on the table should be straight. But here I come to the thumb, so I'm going to jump. And I'm going to keep on going straight. Now, I do notice that this isn't that even, but it's not too bad. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to have a lot more jumps to make because I've got a lot more fingers getting in the way. So notice how I made the line go straight in between the fingers. And you'll notice that I've made a couple of mistakes. Sometimes we make mistakes. That is okay. This does not have to be perfect. What's important is that you're learning what an optical illusion is. And that an optical illusion is an image that tricks your eye into seeing something that's not really there. And so our optical illusion here is tricking our eye into thinking that the hand is rising off of the page. Now, you could leave this just like it is, but if you want to challenge yourself and make it look a little more three-dimensional, we can add a little bit of a shadow to the hand. If you'll notice my hand in the light, so you can't see it, but my lamp is over there, and it's shining a light on my hand. On the right side of my hand and the right side of each finger, it's darker because that's where the shadow is. So that's what we want to add here. We don't need to make it super dark though. I'm just going to take my pencil and very lightly, I'm going to add a little bit of darkness to create the shadow that the hand is casting on the table. It doesn't need to be real dark. Remember, you want to keep it the same on the same side on each finger. All right, and there you have it. There's our optical illusion of a hand. All right. If you want to get fancier, you could take this, add some color to it. In this case, I've used a marker. I picked two colors that I liked, and I did the same pattern with the lines. You could pick more colors than that if you want to. You don't even have to leave any white space if you don't want to. Another challenge would be to try a different shape. In this case, I used a heart. I did it the very same way, except this time I traced a heart first. And I did add a little bit of that shadow on the sides of the heart. And here it is in color. This I colored with crayon. Once again, you can pick whatever color you want. You don't even have to leave any white space if you don't want to. The only thing that I did a little bit different is because crayon works a little different than the pencil. On the edges of the heart where I colored with the crayon, if you'll notice, it looks a little darker. That's because I pressed a little harder on the edges where I colored. All right. So, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please try it. Once again, you don't have to do the color if you don't want to. You can just stick to the pencil and the paper. It'll be just fine. But enjoy yourselves. Until next time, bye-bye.